Hey guys, Weiss Lake. We're trying to answer a question because I caught some fish earlier in the week in deep water that were actively spawning on the lower end of the lake. So I called one of my buddies up. I asked him what his thoughts were. This is Mr. Shiloh Shoppel. He's just moved down here. You became a local down here, ain't you?
Pretty much. I'm about 45 minutes from here. I'm on Gunnersville Lake, but yeah, I'm pretty much considered a local. I spend a lot of time on Weiss.
You know it pretty good?
I know it pretty well.
There you go. Well, we're fixing to go find out, and we're going to find out, do all those crappies spawn shallow, or do some of them spawn out deep? Let's get to the water and check it out. Remember, if you have not, hit that like button, ring that bell, subscribe, and find out what we got going down. Right now, let's head to the water. Oh, wow. What's going on there, Mr. Shiloh?
Just a little stump here on the river channel edge. These fish, a lot of people believe they go shallow and spawn. They'll stay right out here on top of these stumps and spawn right on the top of them.
In 17 foot of water.
17 to 20 foot. I know last week some guys were catching them about 28 foot deep. Some big whitefish. We got one coming right here. There she is. That's actually a decent little blackfish. You can see that fish come out 17 foot and she's starting to color up almost. So they don't always got to go shallow to spawn. They can spawn out there in that deep water as long as they got the clarity to mature those eggs.
Okay, so you think these are resident fish out here that never leave?
They never leave. They've been here. I've been fishing this river channel since November.
And they've been here the whole time?
Been here the whole time. They've been here. The only time I've seen them leave is when we get blown out current, and they'll just tuck up in these pockets away from this main river channel just to get out of that current. But as soon as they stop pulling water or stop getting water flowing through here, they'll come right back and set back up.
So what do you think it's going to take in this tournament to take home the win?
I think if it stays how it is, they don't blow it out, as long as the wind don't get too bad, I think you could possibly see about 11.5, 12 pounds out of this lake.
On 5 fish, 12 pounds.
5 fish.
Oh, wow. I'm trying to do the math in my head right now, but that's well over 2 pound average.
There's some guys catching some big fish.
230 average, I think.
And they're here. There's some giants in this lake that gets overlooked, especially this main river channel.
Okay. Now, you weighed in a pretty good sack not too long ago, didn't you?
Yeah, we had right at 1470.
Now, that was on 7?
7 fish, 1470. Never had a kicker. I think our small fish was about a 190, and our big fish was a 225. So I'm hoping I can find that kicker bite with the rest of them 2 pounders I caught about a month ago, and see what happens. Colored up blackfish down there trying to do the thing.
Man, that thing's got some color. That deep, too.
Yeah, 15 foot deep. Big submerged stump. They're starting there. Give them about another week when the moon gets right. These fish will be in a full-on spawn.
He's working that bait back and forth over at fish's head right there, trying to get a reaction out of it. He had a small one come up there and grab at it just a second ago. And what Shiloh did was he just tried to shake that fish off so he could stay back in there without having to pull it up and re-drop.
We've got a lot of little fish on this stump here. I finally got her attention.
Oh, here we go.
There
Game on, baby.
3/4 pound blackfish, but as you can tell, it's the female here. She's still out here in 17.5 foot of water. This out of her face here. The belly's blowed out. She's
not swelling.
Close to laying eggs yet. Give her about a week or so and everything gets right, she'll probably lay them eggs right down there near the top of that stump.
And you think it'll have to do with the full moon coming in?
I think it'd have to do with the full moon coming in. I know a lot of guys are worried fish are trying to spawn this week, and there may be a little bit of a wave go up to the banks. I think a lot of your big fish are going to stay out here deep and try to spawn probably next week when the moon gets right, and they're going to spawn at night. The problem we've got on this lake is we got cormorants. When these fish go shallow, they get beat to death by birds. And I think these fish over the years have adjusted to spawning out deep to give their hatch a better chance of survival out here. You know, they're not being picked off up there in those shallow water flats like they would if they're out here in this deep water.
So they're just more protected out here.
They're more protected. They're sitting down there 17 to 25 foot deep almost all year. And when they do go shallow, if they do, and shallow, I'm talking 10 foot on this lake. If they go up to 10 foot and spawn, I think they're gonna be spawning right on the bottom out there in that 10 foot range. But we just gotta have the right water clarity here. And right now we've got it. Everything's lining up. Full moon next week. Probably get them to that spawning point and we'll have a good spawn this year.
Oh, she turned.
She sees it. There she is.
Got her.
So with this spot here, the last 3 fish we've caught have been little 3/4 pound blackfish. That kind of tells me what's in the area coming off this river channel. As you can see there, it's a male fish. It's just laying out here getting ready to do the thing. That kind of tells me what's sitting here. So I'm gonna move on to the next spot, pre-fishing. I'm trying to cover as much water as I can. I've got a day and a half, gotta be off the water tomorrow about 4 o'clock. So I'm gonna load up here and go on to the next spot and see what's laying in it along the channel.
He sees it. She's seen it up close.
Blackfish been off treetop. You can see we're still in 18 foot pre-spawn female laying out here. We've got 65-degree water temperature.
Good color to her.
Good color. She's just waiting for the time to get right to go up the shallow and spawn. I still think we're, you know, with this fish laying out here in 18 foot, I still think we got a week away. We moved about a couple miles down or up lake, fishing a channel going back into a pair of creeks.
You want one shallow?
Yeah, I think we got a fish sitting here suspended out on the channel.
Oh, she turned up too.
She's turned up. She's looking. Can't really tell how big she is. She was hanging out below a school of small fish.
Let's find out what she looks like.
Another pound blackfish. We ain't moved. Trouble getting her in the boat. That's gonna be your male fish. He's out here roaming. You know, he's ready, but as you can tell, he's not colored up one bit. He ain't moved but 30 feet since our last fish off the brush top. And this fish is sitting out here in 20 foot of water just suspended.
Oh, she nosed you.
Them big females. I'll stay with her for a second, see what she does.
Try chasing her down.
She's just gonna go straight down the bottom. She's gonna level out right there. Nope. There she comes.
There, she turned her head back up. If y'all notice, shallow did not drop on that fish anymore until she turned that head back up. That is very crucial that you leave them alone when they go down, and you don't fish for them again until they at least get level. That is your pro tip of the week from Shallow Shopping.
Yeah, that's what they like to do. When they put that nose down, they are not gonna feed. Unless you just have the right bait, the right scenario, that fish is not gonna feed. Now when she drops down and pops that head back up and she's coming back up, 9 times out of 10 they'll feed if you can get it right back in front of their face when they're coming up. Got that one. Here's the big old black nose. Don't see many of them out here. About 1.5 pound black nose. Looks like a female maybe. Look at the racing stripe on that one.
Does it go under its jaw too?
It does, so that's a true. But that's, 1.5 pound black nose. Be nice to weigh one of them in that's over 2 pounds come Saturday.
Yeah.
You don't see many of them here. There's a lot of little ones, but one this size, that's a good fish for here.
That easy.
That easy out here. Female, 16 foot of water, about 6 foot deep. Just cruising. We've come to an area. It's got a lot of shad in it, in between 2 creeks. Figure there might be some pre-spawn females out here still trying to fatten up. There is still some females here. Hopefully they get a little bit bigger than that. Little blackfish. moved a little deeper, guys, about 22 foot, different river arm. Out here, I've got a flat with some standing timber on it. Looks like a school of small blackfish. I think you can even see them down here on the screen. Sitting on the standing timber out here. Got about a pound and a 30, pound 25 female out here. 22 foot of water, standing timber. You know, as before, you've seen that we had a school fish on a tree. This fish was out by itself, probably just trying to get away from the school. Still, she's full of eggs. Just not ready to spawn yet. Go and let her go. Get back down there to where she can relax. Still not the tournament fish we're looking for. I think there might be some in this area, just from what I've seen. We're at a split between two rivers. Third river's not real far away from us. And there's a lot of fish in this area right now, so I'm sure there's some big ones mixed in. We'll give this spot about 10-15 more minutes, see what's in here, and then we're gonna peel out and go to our next spot, maybe up in that 10 to 14 foot range, see if there's not some big white fish laying up there. So far all day we've been out in that 15 to 25 foot, and we're catching a lot of blackfish. They just are still pre-spawn. I'm looking for the big white fish. I think that's what's gonna win the tournament here. And we'll go up in that 10 to 14 foot range here in about 15 minutes, see if they're there. So we've slid up in that shallower water, at 12 foot. See, we've got a black here, starting to color up. Probably starting to spawn. We've got 65-degree water. Let me show you guys how I'm getting these fish to react. I've got a 32nd ounce jig head here, made by Guthrie Tackle, 2 times steelhead hook, a sonar ball, which is actually just a little rattle, get them to come up. These fish are holding tight to the structure. They're wanting to sit there. That little bit of rattle, that tick, it almost annoys them, so they come out and check it out, and then they see that bait there and they want to eat it.
Tell me about that weight.
Now that's a 1/2 ounce tungsten weight. I'm getting down to them quick. You know, sometimes when you get to them quick, you might trigger that reaction bite and get a big one just doing that.
You've got a bobber stop on top and bottom?
Yeah, so I run 1 bobber stop on top, 2 on the bottom, and that keeps it pegged right there. That weight's not moving. The bobber stops might move a little bit, but that weight's gonna stay right there. And I've got, up here we're fishing a little bit clearer water than I'd like to. About 10 inches to a foot of just a leader here. And I'm just tying a simple loop knot, going down that sonar ball and that jig head. What are you doing back there?
Are you recording? I'm working. Are you recording me?
You ain't working, but I am recording you.
All right. We'll catch a fish and I'm gonna tape you. What's that one way shallow?
See that scale? 295.
Look out. I'm trying to stay pointed down at the ground so we don't give your spot away.
Big old hybrid hammer right there. Hey y'all, these big fish like this, the best way to preserve them is by doing that right there, letting them go and living. She's gonna go back, spawn, let her eggs go, and hopefully in future years you got more fish like that.
Little nest of males right here all on that log. Probably every one of them be a male fish. Shallow got one of them.
Actually a female. Looks like we got a female in there with them.
Uh-oh, we got a female mixed in.
She's sitting in there getting ready to spawn. The male's probably making bed. She's close by. She was on the end of the root off that stump. She's probably just waiting on them beds to get right and that moon just to get there. And she'll spawn.
Hey guys, I want you to look at how far off bank we are. All the way around. This is the closest point. That's probably 350 to 400 yards. Right? 13 foot of water, 65 degrees. It just goes to show you that these fish will spawn out here in the middle of the lake in deeper water. Guys, that's what we got for you. That's going to answer the question, where do they spawn? Some of them spawn shallow, but don't overlook the deep stuff because they absolutely spawn out in the deeper stuff. Shiloh, thank you for coming with me, buddy. Taking me out on your boat.
Thanks, sir. Enjoy
Guys,
the company.
Make sure you hit that like button, ring that bell, subscribe, and we'll be coming at you soon with some more great footage from right here on Weiss.